This video will show you how to draw a hammer so that it looks three-dimensional and proportional. So here we go. When I start to draw something that is three-dimensional, I make sure that it is set up so that I can look at it but not move it around at all. And then I will do a little bit of comparison work to see how big everything should be. So in this case, I will use my pencil as a basic measuring device. I'm going to line my pencil up with the top of the hammer, the head, and put my fingers at where the hammerhead ends. And so then I have a basic measure. To figure out how tall I should make the hammer itself, I'm going to line up the pencil with the top, go 1, 2, a little bit less than 3. So this should be 1/3 the length of the rest of the hammer. That's a proportional relationship, and that's an easy way to do it. So when I get ready to draw it on my paper, I'm going to start by drawing a line that represents the top of the hammer. It'll be smaller than it is in real life, and then I'm going to draw a line that goes down, and it should be a little bit less than 3 times the length of the top. So if I line up my pencil up here, I'm going to want it to be a little bit shorter because it'll be smaller than this is. So 1, 2, 3. This needs to be shorter because it needs to be smaller, and everything's going to be a little bit smaller than the hammer itself. So this is the beginning of the drawing, and then next I will start to make it look approximately like the hammer. So I'm going to create a big basic shape for the hammer head, and then I will refine it as I add the details. So I'm going to draw a line here and the swoop, and you can see how the swoop is going to become the top of the hammer, right, just like this, but I'm not adding in all of the details because that takes a long time and I want to make sure my proportional relationships are correct. I can check in here to see how wide this is, and I can tell that the top of it is thicker than that, and that the side is a little bit longer, and that this side is a little bit longer as well. So it looks like the hammer head is, this part is 1/3 the distance of the entire hammer head. So that's how big I need to make it. These comparisons, the proportional comparisons, are how you will make your drawing look more accurate. So here we go. I'm going to draw that in just like this, and I am focusing on drawing these flat planes or the flat surfaces, and then I will adjust from here. This bit is skinnier than the top, and it's skinnier than the handle, so that's what I'm going to continue with. And it also is the same length going all the way down inside of the weird sparkly business that's going on in here. So since I know I have to draw a straight line through the bottom, I'm just going to do it like this, and then I'll come over here and do the same thing. And I know this is a little bit wobbly, but I can fix it up later, so I'm not real worried about it. And then I'm going to end it here. This is, yeah, it's about thirds as well. Looks like this hammer is third, third, third. So I'll draw that here, and then the sparkle bit, maybe a little bit higher. The sparkle bit goes out a bit, getting much fatter at the bottom over here than it is over there. Okay, so this looks like a hot mess, and that's okay. This is just the beginning, but I have a basic shape already laid out. So now what I'm going to do is a little bit of erasing. I'm going to pause the video while I do my erasing, and then I will resume adding details. All right, she's looking a little bit like an ice pick, but I will get that situated. So remember, I have my hammer right here next to me, and I'm looking at it while I am drawing. So I'm going to adjust this edge so that it looks more like what the hammer edge looks like, and then I'm going to adjust this line. So that it curves over with that plane. Okay, so this is all the same plane. It all looks like it's connected to the same thing, so I drew it together as a unit. Now I'm going to do some adjusting because I have a lot of lines to draw in this area, and I want to make sure that I have space for it. So when I get down in here, I'm going to draw a line that goes down to show the sides of this tool. This particular one has a little cylindrical collar in there, and I can see it, so I'm gonna draw it. Right, and I'll probably adjust that a little bit later with this, and then the side goes up parallel to the front, but it's skinnier here and then it gets wider there. And then this curve matches the top curve, they're parallel, and then it goes down a little bit further like that. It doesn't actually, it just visually appears to go down a little bit further. Now I have to draw this inset for the claw. And make it parallel with the other part. And then I'll draw the inset over here. Just like this. Okay, this is pretty close. I'm feeling relatively happy with it. It's not exactly perfect, but the adjustments that I need to make with it, I will make when I add value, and that will be a different video. So next I'm going to work on the hammerhead. And this is a curved line that goes up. And then this is going to be a curved line that goes in. This will be a curved line that matches the one on top. If you're drawing a hammer, you'll want to check your individual hammer to see where everything goes in and what it looks like. They are all a little different. This line and this line are parallel to each other. Kind of reminds me of a marshmallow there at the end. Just like that. And so then I've adjusted it so that it looks more like a hammer. And now I can erase some of the extra lines in here as I go so that they're not confusing. Okay, so that's the good basic shape. Now let's go ahead and look at the bottom of the hammer and making the end of it more accurate. So this needs to be nicely parallel with the other side, and I just drew in kind of a loose line to begin with. This part, the handle that goes over the top of this, is curved. It edges out like that. None of this would have a dark line around it like what I'm drawing, but I need to draw that so that you can see the edges of what I'm drawing. It just doesn't work on this video to draw it as lightly as I would naturally do it. And then I'm going to make this go in, and it's got some finger grips on the side here, and then down here it goes in, and then it's going to go in. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking at it. All right, we're going to go in over on the other side. There's a little edge because it goes in, and if I sees it, I draws it. Okay, and then I'm going to elongate this a little bit so that I get that same kind of proportional shape at the bottom that I see. And again, they don't need to be perfect, but they need to be convincing, where we're looking at it and we're like, yes, that looks like a hammer. It looks like a three-dimensional hammer and a three-dimensional tool. So let's get this part erased a little bit in here. And I'm going to leave the handle as it goes down, this middle part, because mine is clear, like she clear. And so I need this guide for when I'm adding the value. If you don't, because yours is black or thick or rubber or something like that, then don't worry about it. All right, so here's my 3D hammer, and hopefully that helps you to draw it.